Hey Space Sailors, welcome to the crew. I'm Sea Lord Jenda, and this is my Let's Play of Citizen Sleeper. We are now in deep debt to a bounty hunter that's chasing us. We are still trying to make a lot of friends, and hopefully we can find a way to disable our tracker. That's our number one priority now.
Screwing her over if I put... Is there a way to save? Not really. Is it I guess we'll just find out the consequences of our actions, huh? If I put Neovend in the ship mind, does that make the ship mind useless for Ankita? I hope not. Neovend is ready to attempt imprinting. They want you to help. Sleeper, must express plan before we begin. Neovend is impatient. The prospect of being free of the vending machine clearly too much to take. Shipmind has no output features. Will be mute until slotted. You won't be able to speak? Correct. Do not worry. The servo motors in the machine begin to rev. Neovend's anxiety clear. First imprint shipmind, then slot imprinted shipmind into physical ports close to hunter nests. Once slotted, we'll track hunter at each. Tracking will find core nest. Slot shipmind at core nest. Show hunter data to hunter. Hunter will conclude sentience. Hunter will invoke killer. Sounds simple enough. The lights in the vending machine cycle as Neovend prepares. Physical ports likely sealed in old station. We'll need keys. But yes, simple. The vending machine rocks a little. Any questions before imprinting? What is the core nest? Hunter keeps central data storage. Protocol must keep data outside self, linked to secondary nests. Can triangulate from there. Why slot you physically? I cannot access via network. Too dangerous. Hunter would find immediately. The lights flicker. Am not like you, hybrid. Am native to cloud. Easy prey. Alright, let's go. The sound of all those servo motors starting up at once is painful. The screeches rattle from the hard surfaces of the sealed dock and come back at all angles. Neovend better be quick or Haven Edge security will be here. Neovend's voice appears among the squeals like a whisper carried by the wind. Machine is not designed for this task. Few sensors, limited inputs. I work blind. Wish me luck. In the top part of the compartment, a set of arms align with the shipmind, clunkily scraping against it. Good luck. The metal creaks as the servos open the shipmind, its layers of silicon nested like an onion skin. Once open, the main arm of the machine rapidly shifts back and forth, realigning the microscopic components, accessing and rewriting them, imprinting Neovend into its physical form. As you watch the hypnotic motion, your mind drifts to your own creation. What processes were used to emulate your mind, to copy the neural structure of that person who, as far as you know, still sleeps in some distant facility? What was lost? In what ways are you a copy of that person, and in what ways are you something new? You know this much, you are a convenient loophole, a way of circumnavigating the illegality of sentient AI. After all, you're an emulation, not a true digital being. You're neurologically limited, still human. But what would you become if you could escape this frame? Where then would the limits lie? The screeching stops. The machine powers down, dropping the bay into darkness. In the top component, the shipmind is whole again. You reach up and take it down, heavy and cold to the touch. Is Neovend inside this thing, or did the process fail? There's only one way to know. Time to find a nest to slot them into. Upgrade point. Okay. I'm not too worried about this. I mean, it might come back to haunt me, but I'm gonna save it up for... probably for this. In fact, that would be really useful, potentially, because I get a lot of scrap randomly. Yeah. Suppose this shipmind is probably not useful for that. Okay. Where do I implant it, then? Okay, right here. An old Solheim drone base sits behind a maglock. You put your ear to the door and hear an erratic whirring inside. Oh, I need an encrypted key. Okay, well, I have a couple of those, so... The maglock opens, leaving the door free. You'll be able to investigate the nest now. In the bay, a whirring drone lies on its side like a beached whale. It must be the nest trying to find an open port. Well, I take it this is going to be like a 3-day cycle thing. Oh, I see. It's not. I just need to get into all the nests. No timer. Oh. Okay. Where are the others then? There's... yeah, here's another one. Server unit. A mad tangle of wires as thick as your arm crowd around a server unit, sealed shut by a maglock. This must be the place. We're gonna run out of encrypted keys then. Okay. The maglock pops open and falls away from the unit. You'll be able to enter now. Among the webs of cables, you find a free port compatible with the shipmind. It's all Neovend from here. The servers lie silent. Their data cache is cleared. Nothing left to do with this nest. Okay. There is one more nest up here. I'm assuming I can't get into without a... yeah. Sealed behind a maglock, the atrium flickers with warm, inviting light. The nest has to be inside. Okay, I need another encrypted key, which I think probably just means I'm gonna need this, yeah. So we're gonna need a 2, that's fine. I think that's it for today then. Let's sleep. Don't have long. I mean, we're on a pretty strict timer with, well, we should be able to pay Ethan, but he's going to be racking up a bill pretty rapidly, so... okay, one good bit of news. Shove that straight into here, get that key. A5 cryo, too. Encrypted key, fantastic. Let me sell this. I haven't found another use for this data, so... okay, so we got our encrypted key. Break into here. The lock gone, the atrium doors can be opened. The atrium is strung with cables and lights as if they were decorations. There's a wide choice of open ports. Okay, boom. The atrium is only lit with the warm glow of the bright market now. There's nothing for you here. But, as you leave the nest, something flips. You find yourself inverted, floating, dragged by one arm through the cloud. The threads shift and realign as if they're leading you somewhere. You look up and see a corridor, a canyon, a street in the low end. On either side, buildings flicker with markers of activity, sigils showing network access, data transfer, download, upload. Between them dance ghosts, protocols carrying or mirroring or shadowing data, sometimes silent, sometimes chaotic. This place moves on like any digital space you ever imagined. Something strange is happening here. You look down, expecting to see the heavy cylinder of the shipmind in your hand, but in its place is an orrery, a sphere so bright it burns. It burns your eyes. It's surrounded by rings and orbits, other spheres tracing silken lines through space. And as you look closer still, you pick out 1,000 sigils of 1,000 stations and ships, flowing like smoke, like dust. Then you see it. Below the stacked rooms, the units and apartments, the wires and the pipes and the buzzing systems that run through it all. In the warrens beneath the low end is the hunter's core nest. This is where you must go. Okay. So, what else then? Working on that. Well, okay, we'll look at that in a second. We are going to need to buy pharmaceuticals soon, so we need to probably save some money. The timer on this will expire before the timer on that. I don't know if that'll be enough, but we'll find out. These are both currently reset. Although the freighter is docked, apparently. Is this still docked too? No, this is empty now. I don't think I ever want to click on this. I will deliver a ship. Does this ship mine count? I don't know what happens if I do that. We'll find out a little later. We'll just say it takes a few days. Oh, I didn't even know I found stuff here. Okay, we've got the freight hub, got the Founder's Gap that I cannot pay to cross. I could get the money, but then I wouldn't have enough to pay for this, so we need to hold on that. I'm gonna use one of the good ones to keep exploring this. Progress. Oh, we did unlock something new. PAS, Import Export, Spoke Exporter. Oh god, I can buy a whole... Oh, I can buy an entire ship mined core for 300 cryo. That is a lot, but it's an option. I can also sell a ship mined for 150 cryo. Okay, well, not helpful. And I can sell Matsutake caps for 80 cryo, but I don't have Matsutake caps, but... Okay, well here's another option to get a ship mined then. 300 is a lot. It's a lot, but it's not necessarily impossible. It is a lot, but it just depends on time. Given like a couple of weeks worth of cycles, it's totally possible, but yeah. Okay. What do we have here? Mini G Express Noodle Factory and Delivery. Noodle manufacturer. Mini G has a kelp stack in the basement, and he makes noodles from the seaweed. He doesn't pay much, but he'll feed anyone who does a shift. Oh, sweet. Free food. That's pretty good, honestly, but it takes a dice, so, yeah. Or express delivery. I'm bad at that, but it pays. Delivering noodles to the nameless units at the low end takes guts and a certain fearlessness when it comes to asking for tips. Okay. The Warrens. Finding the nest should be as easy as closing your eyes and letting the cloud guide you, but is it safe this close to the hunter? That's dangerous. You saw it, somewhere deep in the tangle of passages and service shafts beneath the low end, the nest of the hunter waits. The dripping, dark, derelict corridors of the Warrens hide the hunter's final nest. You must find it. This is the optimal way to do it, it's just dangerous. Ba-boom. You see it, a starburst of data, segments and strings haphazardly angled, emanating from below. Now to find the path down. Now what I'd like to do is use this last die to keep exploring here, but I think I need to make some money, so... Hopefully we don't screw this up or anything. Okay, 12 cryo, 1 welder's mate. Not bad. Oh, and I do need to buy some food. Unfortunately, tomorrow we're gonna have to buy... We're gonna have to buy stabilizer, which is gonna take out most of our money. We got lucky. Not exactly lucky, but yeah, we were fortunate to get the one free one. We're not gonna get that lucky again. Is there anything to hack with these twos, or am I just throwing them into somewhere random? That's just at its work. Otherwise, well, we can hack people for data, which is... I think that's about it, yeah. Okay. Well, we can also use them on some of these, some of the less dangerous areas, maybe, but... Like, I don't know, is there any negative outcome if I screw this up? Not clearly. Oh, I can lose energy. I'll risk it. You joined a group of residents trying to repair the tangled innards of an elevator motor and managed to spot the problem, a burnt-out resistor. Didn't lose energy, at least. King's Bay. One more cycle on that. Let's go ahead and let's do some good work here, I guess. 12 cryo, 2 welders, mate. Let's pony up for some medicine. That's expensive, yeah. Toshiro takes the chits and hands you a vial. When you ask after Sabine, he doesn't respond. That's not great. As you quickly leave the surgery, eager to be away from Toshiro's glare, you notice something wrapped around the stabilizer vial, clutched tightly in your hand. You open your hand, and a thin film marked with holes and sigils unrolls from around the vial. At one end, it has a hard metal strip, a handle. You hold the cloudy film up to the light. It's perforated with an ornate pattern of holes. You can make out a word among the markings. Passkey. Is this an entry key for somewhere? The metal handle is worn and pitted, but you can see a set of numbers imprinted into it. 207F, and then crudely scratched into the handle at some later date, low end. For a moment, you consider going back to the surgery to return the key, and then quickly think better of it. Did Sabine want you to have this, or is Toshiro passing on a message? Time to head to the low end and find out. Oh. With a drive. Okay. We have 2 points now, yeah. That's nice, because now, instead of selling random scrap that we come across, we can potentially use it to not die. Okay, otherwise, let's see here. We'll check that out in a second. Let me... Actually, let's see here. We still haven't fully explored this, have we? No. Okay, there we go. You might not know everywhere in the spoke, but you know the way up and the way down, and that's enough for now. And that, oh, that unlocked the Ascender car. Hub access elevator. Oh, damn. You can access the central hub. Okay, we'll come right back to that. Let me check over here first. That's pretty expensive, actually. Let me hold on to the last die for a second. So what's here? Find the entrance to the apartment. Its passkey symbol obscured beneath layers of graffiti. Who lives here? Probably Sabine. The lock clunks open, the metal door swinging inward into the dark. As you push the door open, the automatic lights flicker on inside the apartment. They reveal yellowing plastic panels, the curved shape of wall-mounted utility units, the detritus of a routine life arranged on every surface. You step inside, clicking the door shut behind. The amber light of the aging fixtures glaze everything with pale orange. The work surfaces hold a variety of objects indistinct in the dull lighting. A pale blue light drifts from a doorway at the end of the room. Smudges through the thin layer of dust suggest a recent, rare, and hurried visit. They trace a path to the water dispenser, the auto wash, then to a cabinet still half open. On the shelf sits an empty pill case. You cross the cramped utility room with its auto wash, dispensers, water closet towards the doorway. Through the doorway is a dark, warm room lit only by the faint glow of a terminal screen. A bunk is tucked into the wall, the blankets ruffled. A wall desk glitters with rows of vials and containers. A briefcase lab sits open, loaded with rows of reagents and components you do not recognize. In comparison, this room is clean, ordered, controlled. As you approach, there's a crackle from somewhere in the dark. "Sleeper," Sabine's voice shakily echoes through the apartment. "Welcome to my home. I'm sorry I can't be there. I've had to make alternative arrangements." You hear rattling noises, static. "I was able to record this message, but I don't dare to show my face. Something's happening within Yataghan. I no longer trust them." The voice becomes distant, slipping behind the background noise. "I have something to ask of you. I want you to get me out. Yataghan were supposed to hide me, to protect me. After everything happened, I was desperate, and then after that I was too tired to care." A noise like waves passes over the recording. "But I'm done with them now. I want out. Screw the dead. But I need insurance, something I can hold against them. I have my suspicions, but I can't be sure. I need information, and as you know, you need me." A pause, something clicking in the dark. This isn't a threat. You have to understand my position here. Another pause. I know sleepers. I've been here before. I can help you, but not with Yatagan's noose around my neck. Give me data. Give me information. Give me something I can use against Yatagan. Then I can get out and you can get what you need. Please. Waves of static cut into Sabine's voice. Bring it here to my terminal. I'll get to it when I can. You look around the tiny room and try to imagine Sabine living here. Working at the desk, sleeping in the bunk, blinking into the terminal in the dark. The recording cuts to static, filling the room with its white hiss, then silence. You sit in front of the humming terminal and hit a few keys. Sabine has left an access port open, but the rest is encrypted, locked away behind passcodes. It seems Sabine might not trust you as much as they want you to think. What does Sabine need to hide from, and what debt do they owe to Yatagan? You try to assemble the pieces, but too many are missing. The only thing you know is that without stabilizer, your body will die. You glance at the briefcase lab on the desk, its glassware glinting in the dark. You turn away and leave, the door clunking shut behind you. Back on the corridor, you notice the scrawled graffiti of a blade on the opposite wall. Yatagan. You feel yourself being drawn into something you don't quite understand. Okay, well there's a new drive. Yatagan data. Oh, great. I just sold all my Yatagan data, finally. Yep. Damn it, I would have had this finished if I hadn't sold it all, but I hadn't found any use for it ever, so... Well... No, you're 1. Is the other one a 2? Nope, both 1s. Okay, well, I don't have any 1s, so we're gonna have to make do with no data this turn. The 2 I will use for something that I hopefully can't screw up too badly, like... I'd like to use it here, but it's too much risk, I think. It is too much risk. We'll use it to explore the low end. Worst case, we lose some energy. Yep. Okay, well we're halfway to being known in the low end. Better than nothing. We get a new... Oh yeah, Tambor Tea House. Yet again run Tea House. Oh. Now I'm gonna sell my Havenage data and it's gonna turn out that I'm gonna need that somewhere else soon, but... Oh well. If I had good Intuit skill, I could play Tavla here too, but... Oh well. Tea House's enforcer signals for a hacker to come out for the upload. Their eyes widen as the data streams onto their system. I think I'm selling my data too cheap. Alright. Let's have a drink. Oh, I can't have a drink anymore. Didn't even realize. Now I can just do bar shifts. It's not even helpful. Alright, well. Let's go buy from Memphis then. Yeah. Okay, then we're gonna check our stabilizer. And cycle. Alright. Some decent dice rolls. Let's talk to Feng, yeah. As you arrive, Feng comes striding towards you, taking you by surprise. Let's go, sleeper. He puts a hand on your shoulder and turns you back the way you came. He steps into the passageway, guiding you downring towards the shipyard. Sorry for the hurry, but we have something of an opportunity. That data you ripped, well done, by the way, he grins, tells me Hardin's making a rare inspection of the side rail horizon this cycle. It's the perfect chance to confront him outside of that compound he hides in. Feng takes a sharp turn into a dimly lit side passage. Confront him? That's right, it's the perfect time. Feng slows and slips into a dark surface tunnel where, somewhere back in the black, a water pipe drips. It's him, Sleeper. The same Harden Hurst. Our worm ripped out decades of records that mention him by name, an entire trail of documentation from the first days of the Solheim collapse until now. He wrote out the whole thing, slipped into Havenage when it first broke off from the Union. He paces in the tunnel, a hand rubbing at the back of his head. I need you to understand something about Solheim, Sleeper. I don't know what you know about the collapse, but it wasn't as instant as it sounds. It wasn't like Solheim was here running the station one day and the next Erland's Union took power. Back then, Solheim knew this place was slipping away from them. As the palladium market collapsed, they tried to keep the contractors here working. The pay got smaller, the costs higher. People like my parents were forced to work non-stop just to keep a berth on the station and water in their tanks. Solheim squeezed every last worker until the mistakes, the accidents were coming in non-stop. And as new waves of contractors came in desperate to work, Solheim welcomed them, taking bribes instead of checking pilot licenses. The whole time Solheim was folding up, dragged into court cases in the central systems, while this severed limb of a station still desperately tried to take all it could. The riots came after the collision at Dock 2. A young pilot, his MEV overloaded with palladium, miscalculated his trajectory and took out a section of the ring. Hundreds died, thousands panicked. My parents told me people were terrified, and the blame fell squarely on Solheim. People like to tell stories about Erland, how he brought the factions together, spoke to the crowds, turfed out Solheim. Maybe that's true. But my mother, pregnant with me, locked herself in their MEV and welded it to the dock, while my father joined the improvised crews trying to seal up the ragged edges of the gap. He never came back. Feng pauses in the dark. They sealed it up, though, and by the time they did, Solheim was gone, abandoning every one of us to the black. Apart, Feng finally turns back to you now, his eyes burning, from shits like Harden. Shits who held their place, rode it out, and slipped into the new structure like nothing had changed, standing shoulder to shoulder with those they'd exploited at every step. Feng starts walking again. That's why I can't just let him strut about the shipyard. This time his past catches up with him. How's he still alive? Clearly you don't know much about executives. That kind of power comes with certain benefits. Feng rejoins the main passageway, which is now wide and glass-roofed. Through the ceiling you can see ships in mid-construction, their flanks lit by the flashes of plasma torches. The entrance to the shipyard's ahead. This is crazy, but let's go. Feng grins. Let's go show this shithead some consequences. He strides to the shipyard entrance and pushes through the doors. A web of corridors lead through the complex, snatches of the construction bays always appearing through windows. Ships are suspended like whale corpses, skeletal, imposing. Feng seems to know exactly where he's going, and before long you cross into a huge dry dock locked to one side of the side rail horizon. A network of platforms and scaffolding cling to the ship's hull, filled with workers and equipment. The sound is stretched out by the vast space so that the welding, cutting, and sealing seems to come from everywhere at once. Both you and Feng spot them at the same time. A group walking slowly across a gantry, and at the front, two men, one gesturing towards the ship and the other, stick-thin, cleanly dressed, with a shock of gray hair. Harden. You and Feng say his name in unison, and Feng sets off up the staircase to the gantry, with you following behind. As you come to the same level the group's passing closer, the foreman gesturing to the work being done throughout the dock, and Harden nodding along. Harden Hurst! Feng shouts across the noise, taking you by surprise. His voice bounces and comes back in a rippling echo. The figures turn. Yes? Harden asks quizzically, raising an eyebrow. He glances between you and Feng, and you see his gaze linger on your body, unsure of why a sleeper might be in this place. You are a traitor, Harden. A Solheim executive who tried to hide here among its victims. Feng's voice is steady, strong. You stand for everything the Eye was rebuilt in the shadow of, against everything Erland stood for, everything Havenage stands for. You have no place on this station. For a moment, stillness descends on the group, as if everyone was held in place by the rattle of construction. Harden laughs. Well, good to meet you, too. He glances at those around him. Some are smiling, the others nervous. You're from the systems branch, are you not? Asks Harden, inspecting Feng's clothing. Feng turns to the foreman. You need to call your security. This man is a corporate agent. The foreman glances between Feng and Harden, his hands drumming at his sides. Harden leans towards him and says something inaudible. The foreman nods. It's true. As you begin speaking, Harden turns his attention to you. And what would a sleeper know about that? You accuse me of being a corporate agent. What are you, if not exactly that? He looks around at the group, who are already eyeing you with suspicion. You are a product of SNARP. You have no place in a Havenage shipyard. Who knows what signals you're sending back to your makers? A murmur of approval runs through the group. Feng holds up a stick of memory. You guessed right. I am Systems, and I have records that link you directly to Solheim right here. He turns to the foreman. So once again, I am asking you to take this man into the custody of the shipyard. The foreman remains still. Harden's voice is calm, measured. If you have such data, why hasn't it been submitted at the members' meeting for a proper review? He shakes his head. I have nothing to hide, unlike a man who does not announce his name, who enters my shipyard with corporate property in tow and tries to turn my own men against me. You hear it now, the echoing sound of boots on walkways coming from all angles at once and then settling behind you. Please, says Harden, submit the data through the correct channels, then we can talk. For now, however, you must leave. He gestures behind you to the security detail, their hands on boxy black sidearms with their hands. Feng spits. Harden, you shithead. You can't wriggle out of this one. The security officer draws their weapon and levels it. Feng turns and stares him down. Whoa, Feng, let's just... You look at Feng, he shakes his head and puts a hand on your shoulder. Let's go, says Feng, and he pushes through security, heading back down the walkway. Once security's walked you out of the shipyard and nudged you back into the corridor, Feng picks up pace. You try to keep up as he slips into the shadows of an entrance. Feng is grinning ear to ear. You know, Sleeper, sometimes people are exactly how you expect them to be. Something pings in his pocket, and he takes it out. On the slate, a web of connections starts drawing itself out, stretching to a set of points around the ring. Got him, mutters Feng. Oh damn, Feng, we had a backup plan? What's going on? Harden is doing what any snaky shithead always does. Calling his friends, or tracking his outgoing messages. Feng's grin looks ghostly in the uplight of his screen. The old ways are best. Spook them good enough, and they'll give the game away. He jabs at the slate, and you see the webs being drawn over a map of the ring, lines bouncing from point to point. All those dots? Those are Harden's buddies, the ones he's messaging right now. And we're gonna find them all. On purpose, Feng. You clever bastard. Of course, Harden isn't working alone. We need the full set or nothing. Feng glances around and slips the slate back into his pocket. We better split for now, Sleeper, but this is exactly what we need. Good hunting. With a pat on your shoulder, Feng drifts away, back into the flow of people around the shipyard entrance. You watch him go, unsure whether to be angry or impressed. Wait, what about my damn, one upgrade point? The +2s are kind of expensive. Energy recovery at home, that's probably not that great. I mean, +1s on stuff would be nice, but... Let's grab a +1 on that also. I might get rid of my -1 on engage too, but... Ooh, that would be handy. Maybe I'll save points for that. Sorry. That probably sounded horrible for you. Okay, so we have a bunch of dice.
Thanks for watching, Space Sailors. Hope you enjoyed. New episodes will be up every other day, or you can watch live on Twitch. If you did enjoy, consider leaving a like or subscribing, and have a nice day, Space Sailors. This is Sea Lord Janda, signing off.